Okay, we are live. We
From
inside. This is episode
10, I think.
10, I think, of Free Game Friday.
It might be 9. Don't
All
quote me
right,
on
beautiful.
that.
You know how it go. We're going to go for about 30 minutes. We're going to pull a bunch of questions that came from the fans and the people.
Yes,
and
sir.
let's get to it. Someone has a stuffy nose, as you can see.
I was sick.
They're weak, fragile,
That's
frail. Not me.
crazy. Watch, he gonna
Okay,
be sick next
this
week.
is from Poppy Goyo. Web3 seems to be a powerful tool to seamlessly allow fans to invest and own portions of artists' content. Although you're already doing that, do you plan to use Web3 to streamline that process? I've used Web3 to do it, and it doesn't really streamline the process at all. It's a very similar process. There hasn't been much of a difference that I've noticed with it. So yeah, I mean, I'll use Web3 as it calls when necessary or when desired, but it doesn't really streamline the process at all. It's the same process.
What he said. This is from Sway Cuts. Do you think giving back to fans, such as giving out free merch and such, hurts you in the long run or helps you market showing genuine love? That could never, ever hurt you. Ever. Especially when it's genuine. Like,
Right.
I can't think of any way that could possibly harm you.
Yeah, it can never hurt you.
Even if you gave out all your merch for free, it's like, bro, everybody's rocking your merch now. And they got it for free.
And then somebody's going to see them with it, and they're going to be a paying customer. They're going to be like, oh, I want to cop that shit and go find it. So, yeah, that could never hurt.
Ever. Especially if they're already fans. They wanted it anyway.
This is from @HeartbreakJ. Have you ever considered managing artists? I mean, I've already managed artists in a way. You know, when Tessie was first blowing, I handled all of her shit and taught her the game. Shantae, just about every artist I've worked with, I kind of managed in some capacity as we were building their careers, and I've always managed myself. I'm an artist, so definitely. Maybe that was for you, though.
I was going to say that, but...
Have you considered managing an artist?
That's actually, I think, where I'm headed in the long run. It wasn't really the goal or the dream at first, but I feel like it's something I'm really great at. And when I love an artist, it's easy to want to manage all their business. Like, I don't mind doing all the back end stuff for you because I love your music and what you're building. So
beautiful.
Yeah. This is from Willie Beats 254. Can you do like a tour of all the stuff you need and that you use to make your own merch, top to bottom, you know, from heat press to blanks to transfers, tags, etc.? This would have been a good time to be in the merch room.
But all the stuff isn't in the merch room. Yeah, we should do a separate video where we kind of walk through while they're pressing and we kind of outline that. Maybe we'll do that. That'll be its own free game segment. We're going to do that. Free Game Friday merch edition.
Yep. We'll shout you out, Willie Beats.
We'll walk through and we'll show the merch room and we'll show Millie's process and Sarai's and Fonnie's and them. And yeah. Who was that from?
Willie Beats 254.
Willie Beats 254. We got to remember that. Willie Beats, we got it all because of you. They finna get all the deets on merch, man. Come on.
Shout out to him.
This is from @Keezy Cuts. Is it smart to use Bandcamp or SoundCloud in 2023? Sure. I don't think it's dumb to use it. I mean, I think you should utilize any tool that's available to you. I think it depends on the use you're using it. If you're just using it to release your music, yeah, I mean, use whatever is available to you. I know Bandcamp has it where you can still sell your music. I think that's a huge benefit as an artist. You should be selling your music. So definitely SoundCloud is a place that people source and find music. So yeah, I would still use all of the tools available.
Any place that there's a community of music lovers is worthwhile to use.
Yeah, definitely. I just pulled, bro. Yep.
This is from official CDI 3 eyes. Okay. As an independent artist with limited financial resources, what are some helpful ways to grow a fan base? Make great music, invest in, you have limited financial resources.
Just make great music and great content.
But
if you have very limited resource and nothing else, I think you should start with making great music and great content. That is your start.
Yeah.
Do that until you can get enough resource to start buying the things that you need around it. But to start, make great music and great content. right? All the money that you do have, make sure you allocate it to those things so you can start growing your brand. I feel like the amount of money you make, your following count should be parallel to the amount of money you make. If you have 1,000 followers, you should be able to make $1,000. And from my own experience, I think that is a very relevant statement. If you have 500,000 followers, you can make $500,000. You just have to learn how to utilize that market. So as you get those people, if you have 500 followers, you can make $500.
And I think engaging with your fan base is very important. Like cultivating real relationships, responding to them, and like building with them is how you grow your fan base, especially when you don't have money to put towards it or to like sell merch and invest in all the other things that make people, like outside people, interested. I think that that's a big way that you, like, your fan base really loves you and like fucks with you genuinely because you're a very personable person. You don't feel like alien to them or inhuman, you know?
Right. This is from Oh Hey Killer Cat Official. Okay. How did you decide on which publisher was best for you? I just went on YouTube and looked up pub admin companies once I got to the point where I realized I needed someone collecting my pub, and SoundTrust just happened to be one of the most popular ones in the search engine. Like when you start looking up publishing on YouTube, you're going to find SoundTrust. That's just one of the companies that everyone knows about in the indie space. And then from there, like we just recently we've been getting plays lined up. Like we visited Universal for a pub situation, and we've been speaking to Cobalt about a pub situation. So as you elevate and grow, different situations will come to you. But I just landed in SoundTrust naturally because of the processes of researching. And same with ASCAP. You know, as you research, you're going to hear ASCAP or BMI. I just went with ASCAP because it was the first name I heard.
Solid. This is from T. Denzel T. How could I go about getting my shows sold on your ticketing platform? How could I get invited to perform at one of your shows? Damn it, I said again.
What's TBA?
What's TBA is currently an invite-only space, but that could change soon.
We're going public in January.
Yeah.
We're going public in January.
Are we supposed to let them announce that?
I am them.
Okay.
What do you mean? January, we're going public for everybody to use and make offer-based shows. That's going to be a monumental moment. The first ever Black-owned ticketing platform that offers offer-based.
Offer-based.
Incredible.
Sheesh.
What was the second question?
How can I get invited to perform at one of your shows? Non-Bay Area artists.
You have to be great. Be exceptional. Make some shit that I love, and I'll hear it and see it and be like, yo, I'm pulling up here. I want you to come perform. That's the easiest way to get my attention. It's to just be great, and I find it through the internet or through one of the homies, and I'm naturally going to be like, yo,
I'm in your city.
With this. Yeah, that's just how it works for me. If you're exceptional, I'm going to find it. It's on me?
Yep.
Yo.
We're shooting
a free game. At Sir Capone. Or is it Senior Capone? Sir?
Senior
Capone? Maybe. If I'm starting from the ground up, no connections, no money, and 200 followers, where should I start? Should I just drop clips of me rapping to gain an audience or get the background done first? I.e. copyright, name, lyrics, producer agreements. I think you should do all of that shit in tandem.
Yes.
You clearly know what you need to do, so just go do it. You put everything that you need to do. You don't need my approval, nigga. Go do it. You know exactly what you need to do. Get it done.
Both of them. All
Come on.
This is from Young Activist.
Okay.
Can we use the platforms and app you've created too?
Yep.
Like, we just
January.
Yeah.
Yep. It's coming. It's coming for everyone to use.
And there's so much more
man.
coming next year
too.
too.
Oh man, we're create everything that we use to build our brand and that we share and all these resources. We're trying to make every single one of them public and available for everyone else to utilize. Like I don't gain I don't gain any joy from me only being able to take advantage of these things. So yes, everything will be public as soon as we can get out of beta and get things working to where when we go public, it's seamless. It's all going to be for everyone's use and consumption.
How exciting!
Willie Beats 254. Okay, we did one, but we're gonna get it. Where do you get physical music pressed? CDs, cassettes, vinyl? This is an excellent question, man. Get the gems. So for the CDs and the vinyls, we went through a company called Unified Manufacturing. They're based in Los Angeles. They're really good. I've had a great time with them. They're really communicative. Like, they respond to emails, and they do CDs, vinyls, and cassettes. They also do merch. Yep. So yeah, Unified Manufacturing in Los Angeles. Tap in with them. That's where I've done all of my hard copies of goods.
Where were you doing it before?
Things like Easy Disc, discmakers.com, and like just a bunch of random one-offs. Like, but I think Unify has been the best so far in terms of just service and everything. I really
do you feel like the price is comparable?
I think their prices is a little bit higher, but I'm okay with it because their quality is really great, and because I could speak to them. I could call them if I have an issue. We're back on the email thread. The other companies, there's like very minimal commitment. If something goes wrong, you're gonna you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Unified Manufacturing. Come on, man, love it.
This is from Illis.chill. Do the people you split royalties with need a distribution account, TuneCore or DistroKid? So when you get a split invitation, you automatically get signed up via your email. Or like when you go in to accept it, it creates like a, what would you call it?
Well, for Command Shift. But for DistroKid, you have to pay that fee. So for DistroKid, if you get a split, you have to pay a fee to accept your royalties. And I really don't think that's a great thing. Like, I've made DistroKid a lot of money because I've sent a lot of splits and I haven't got any of that. But I do fuck with them still because they allow me to build this business model. But going forward, we're using Command Shift, and it's free to collect royalties. After the split is input, it automatically creates a profile. You just have to go in and put your information, put your bank account, and then accept the splits that come, and you collect for absolutely free. There's no sign up fees or nothing.
It's also one of those platforms that's like invitation only though.
Yeah. It's an invite only distro. I don't think there's any distro that does splits that's not invite only unless they have a sign up fee besides DistroKid. And that's where DistroKid is beautiful, because it's open for anyone to use, which is why they have those fees, right? Because they're allowing you to use their infrastructure for very minimal. Yeah. So shout out DistroKid, shout out Command Shift, shout out TuneCore, shout out STEM, shout out all United Masters, all the distros that Vidya, man, we've used so many. Shout out all the distro partners, man. We fuck with distro.
And the cool part too is that the bigger you've gotten and the more conversations you've had with distros, the more that they've wanted to improve their platform to get artists like you to want to be on it. So.
Some.
Some.
Shout out the guys that want to improve and want to be the best and takes the input, right? There's nothing better than direct input from the artists using the platforms.
Because then it just makes way for future artists who go to use those platforms. Now those things will exist already.
Yeah, because of your beautiful input. Man, shout out Sonny from Command Shift. I just got to take a moment because he's exceptional, and he's literally taking input and challenge himself to be like, I'm finna do this, right? And that's very special. You don't find many people that want to be the best in their field and their network, and it's like, I'm finna take your input and I'm finna go above and beyond. I'm gonna make sure you love what we build. So man, shout out Command Shift and Sonny over there. Incredible.
Right. And they're super responsive with everything. Yeah.
Man, it's very important after you get to a certain point in your career to have partners that you can call.
Yep.
Partners that you could email, partners that you could give your input and they're responsive to it. In the early phase, it's very hard to find places that you could actually get in contact with and get in touch with to resolve your issues. So as you elevate, make sure you're working with people that actually want to work with you as well. And that's why I like Command Shift. It's invite only because they only want to work with people that they want to work with.
Right. Which is fair.
Very fair and very important.
It allows them to be great at what they do.
Yeah.
It's hard to be great at what you do when you don't care about it.
Fact.
I think it's on you. This is going to be a great episode.
Keezy Cuts, you recently performed at Dreamland Festival in Tulsa. How do you compare performing at festivals versus headline shows? They're the same to me. I perform whether I'm headlining. Every festival I perform at, I feel like I'm headlining. Right. You know, there's no difference with me. If I'm on that stage, it's my show for the time being. So festival or headline show, the only difference sometimes is the energy in the crowd. But once I get going, we usually win the people over, and that becomes our crowd anyway. But yeah, for me, it's no different. I don't give a damn what time my set is. It's my show. If LaRussell's on stage, it's LaRussell's show today.
Right. LaRussell's here. He's finna rap.
Come on.
I love headline shows though, because there's no better feeling than the crowd knowing
that
all
home
the words.
Team, right?
Boy.
That home team energy.
This is from Watch the Vision. Are you selling equity ownership of the master recording itself, or equity ownership of the streaming royalties from the master recordings?
Okay, so I'm not selling ownership. I'm selling equity in the streaming royalties that come from the master. So no one who has equity owns the master. I own the master because I created it. It's my art. But what people have is a stake in what's generated from that master from streaming. That was a very interesting question, how it was framed. I'm not sure. I hope that answered it. So yeah, we're selling equity in the revenue generated from a master. So say if I'm selling a Nike shoe, right? And I say, okay, these are the people that helped me make a Nike shoe. They're all going to get a percentage of this shoe selling. So like LeBron James gets a percentage. Probably. I don't know if he has a royalty deal or not. But in a great business structure, he would get a percentage of every Nike shoe he sells. He doesn't own Nike, but he gets that stake of revenue generated from it.
So let's say me, you, and your mom, we all own a percentage in a song that you made. And then somebody wants to buy your catalog, and that single is a part of that purchase, and let's say that single gets sold for $25,000. Do we each get that percentage of that 25?
You would.
Wow.
I mean, in my case, that's what I would do. In my case. But no one has to do that. I don't think so, because the only owner of the master is me. So like some people sell their catalogs, right? And in those catalogs, I'm sure they have other people who have
points
splits
on the
in
masters.
It. But you know what? I think you can only sell your percentage that you have in it. But yeah, since I own the master, I could sell the master or not. But I put in all the agreements that if I was to sell, I would contact everyone that has a stake in that. And yeah, what I would do, so say if it's one song and someone's like, I want to give you $1 million for that master, I would just give everybody a percent of that $1 million that they own in that record.
Real nigga shit.
You know?
So it's kind of like they own. It's kind of like they own
right, because
a percentage.
They own that percentage, but not the master. They own that master. Percentage of revenue.
Wording is so
right?
important.
Right.
I think it's your turn.
Our guy, a will to win. Come on, will to win, man. Before leaving your 9 to 5, did you have your monetization strategy in place, or just had a feeling, or no option? Monetization strategy.
Like probably
like
your
what I was going to
game
do
and whatnot.
Man, when I left my job, I had nothing in place beyond whatever I built before I left. I didn't really have a plan. My only thing I told myself before I left was I'm going to work 10 times harder than I'm working at this job if I choose to quit. And that was really what I left with. There was no map. There was no, I'm going to do this. It was like, I'm going to work 10 times harder than I'm working now if I choose to quit. So that was my strategy.
Sheesh. And you ain't let yourself down.
And now I work 50 times harder. I work, yeah. It's a setup. When you quit your job, you got to work harder than every nigga you know with a job.
Facts. Because they get to clock in and clock out.
It is a setup. Like, even when things happen, most people get to put in vacation time if they need to grieve or if they need a break or anything. And we don't get that. Right? We only eat what we hunt and kill. So there's a difference there. Like, when you quit your job and go for your dreams, you have to work harder than every nigga you know with a job.
Right. Here I am on my sick day.
Right.
This is
you should.
Right? This is from Collie Kid. How do I learn how to create, edit vids, and quote pictures to post?
YouTube. And these are one of those things, and I don't want to knock you because I love you. I appreciate the question. It's a great question. But these are those things where it's like, YouTube. These are things you don't even have to, if you really want this, you don't have to ask these things. YouTube, like, make sure you really utilize this space to ask things that you can't find on YouTube or can't find on Google that you really need, so we can really give them gems. This ain't nothing but YouTube, nigga. Go to YouTube.
I'm also planning on doing like a video walkthrough of my editing process when we do the artist handbook. So, you know, if you still haven't been able to figure it out when that drops, you'll get that kind of help.
Man, and man, even if you can't figure that out, man, they have 9-to-5s, because I think it's very important for these type of things. Like, bruh, they have 9-to-5s, and it's important to be in those lanes, because you will really waste a lot of your time if you're not willing to research these little things. It's like, bro, if you're not willing to do that work, 9-to-5, man, it's a great place to build and get a 401k, and you know,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it at all. You could get wealthy through a 9-to-5 if you're not willing to do the little work to figure out what you want to do. Get in your 9-to-5.
And you got to be real with yourself about that.
You got to be real. This is that young activist, our guy again. Come on. Do you have a blueprint to duplicate what you have done?
You're witnessing it.
I think my entire career is a blueprint to duplicate what I have done. Everything. I mean, we're sharing as much game and as many gems as we can. We share everything. Just my life is the blueprint. Just follow whatever you see that we done as work. Follow. That is the blueprint, man.
There's a lot of people, and I've been seeing it a lot more lately, of people commenting like, bro, I've been following your blueprint. It's been working. It's like, again, one of those things where it's like, if you're not willing to do that work, then
9-to-5s. 9-to-5s.
And also the artist handbook, when it comes out, I think will be rare. I think sometimes it's hard for people to replicate what they're witnessing, you know? Like, sometimes you see it, but you're like, I don't really understand how he's doing it, I guess. I don't know.
9-to-5s. 9-to-5s.
This is from _.amaya. That's a beautiful name. I might steal that.
You gonna change your name?
No, but never mind. How do you set up your merch to be priceless on They put Spotify. Shopify. I wonder if Sarai wrote this when she was sick. I own a brand and am thinking about implementing that model. By the way, absolutely love what you do and stand for. Keep shining, inspiring, love.
So there's two ways. Through the Shopify app, they have several add-ons. One is the pay what you want add-on, and then they have a make an offer add-on. And we're actually building our own add-on that's going to be called offer based, that you'll be able to utilize and do the same thing. But those are 3 add-ons you could use through Shopify. If you go into their app store, you could type it in and find them, and you could arrange them to fit whatever store, whatever needs you have, and you can make things offer based, or you can make them proud to pay and people could pay whatever they want. But yeah, use those add-ons in Shopify.
We just recently found the offer based one, and we're really liking it so
far.
Yeah,
shout out to the creator of that. They don't really have a name of who made it, but whoever made both of those, thank you, man. They've been very, very resourceful tools for us. We've been able to build our business and brand off of them. So shout out y'all for creating those. Whoever the developers are, man, holla at me. I got some paper for you. This is from
questionable.
How do you handle the administrative tasks? Is there a set schedule you follow, and who is in charge of what? So there's not really a set schedule. We kind of do things in bulk or just in pockets, and me and Tietta do a lot of the admin shit. Millie does a lot of the admin shit when it comes to like shows and getting things booked and taken care of, buses and ordering shit like that. When it comes to like registrations of songs, myself and Tietta do that. I'll do like Sound Exchange and Song Trust some days she'll do it. So we kind of pass off. Keeping up with the discography, shit like that is just things we kind of do collaboratively.
Yeah.
There
is a lot of admin stuff that goes into a music career, and I think that it would be very beneficial, like if you're asking if you should have a set schedule, the answer is yes, because you only ever have to catch up if you get behind.
Yep.
And the more that you're on top of it, the less work it'll feel like.
Yep. If you don't fall behind, you don't have to catch up.
Yeah. That's
a life lesson. You should probably write it down. No, you're going to forget it later. You should probably write it now.
This is from Classic Unity. How long does it take you to memorize a song for performing? This guy got photographic.
It just depends. It really depends on the track. Yeah, sometimes it could be it just depends on the track and how much I work at it, right? If I hear a song several times, and it's easier. If I perform it several times, it's easier. It just depends on how much time you put into it, really.
Do you feel like it depends on how much time you spent writing it too? Like, is it easier for you to memorize a song if you spent? Because sometimes you'll write a song in 5 minutes, and other times I've seen you work on like a freestyle for a couple days or some time. Do you feel like those ones are easier to memorize because you worked on them for longer?
Yeah, just because I've read it more times. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it just depends on the amount of times I've seen it. After you read something 50 times or have to say it 50 times, you just naturally remember it more, right?
Yeah.
This is from Produced by Mosaic. Why did you choose a nonprofit over an LLC for GC? So I didn't choose one over the other. We have an LLC and we have a nonprofit. I chose to do both. The nonprofit does nonprofit things, and since we were going into a priceless phase where everything was donation based, it just made more sense to have a nonprofit so we don't have to do taxable things on that end, since we're not setting an actual price and we don't know what we'll make. And then the LLC was established early because, as I was developing a business, I was just like, you go on YouTube and it's like, you need an LLC. The Twitter niggas, you need an LLC. So that was just the first step. And then as we grew, it was like the smart thing to make a nonprofit, because I do things like the Proud to Pay restaurant where I may not make a lot of money, but I invest a lot of my own money into it. So that's something that we just had to develop that made sense with what we were building. Let's do 5 more.
Wow, the time really flies, doesn't it?
Right.
This is from P.C_NE. What equipment do you have for your home studio?
We're in my home studio, so I think I've ran between this already, but I have a UAD Apollo Twin. I have a Universal Audio Satellite. I have a WA73 mic preamp. I have a Power Play by Behringer, a headphone preamp. I have a EQP, Warm Audio Tube EQ. I have a LA2A. I have the Yamaha HS8s, I believe. I have a WA8000 microphone. What else is in here? I think that's pretty much it. I just got the Mac Studio. I haven't used that yet, but I have that. Right now I have an HP Omen computer. And I think that's just about everything that we use. And I got a shit ton of hard drives.
A lot of hard drives.
Yeah.
This is for you.
And I use Pro Tools as the DAW to record everything.
You should use Pro Tools if you don't know what system to use, because it's universal.
Yeah. Any studio you go to in the world, they'll usually have Pro Tools. That's the advantage. No matter where you go, they'll have Pro Tools. And if you know how to use it, you'll be able to use their computer. This is from Mark Anthony High.
Hi, Mark Anthony.
Are there any engineers in the Bay that you recommend to go to for mixing and mastering music? No.
If you know, let us know.
Yeah, I haven't found too many that I love. Sauce is really good from Empire. There's a guy named an engineer by the name of Sauce that works for Empire. He's really tight. I like his shit. But other than that, no, I mix a lot of my own shit, and I just try to grow and get better each time. I've used the engineers platform to find a bunch of different engineers to like source and
what's it called?
Engineers.
Engineers.
Yeah, it's a platform created by Mixed by Ali, and it's a really great platform. He created like a marketplace of basically engineers mixing and mastering, where you could go and find some of the industry standard engineers as well. So I've used them to like find engineers, but ultimately I mix a lot of my own shit because I know how I want my shit to sound, and I'm willing to have my song be fucked up by my own fault, but I'm not willing to let somebody else under deliver on my song, right? I know that I'm here in a growing phase, so I do a lot of my own shit. But yeah, if you can't find an engineer, use engineers and just source different engineers and see what you like. Find some shit that you really fuck with. Two more.
Ooh. This is from Tay You Cool. What's the streaming platform you sold your last album on that you sold 400 copies of? 4,000. 4,000. And it's called Even.
Yeah.
Even.biz.
Man. Even. Shout out Mag from there. Shout out Alvaro from there, man. Really great people over there. And yeah, we did it through Even. Last one.
Bring us home.
Meet Spady.
Right.
Come on. Should an artist register their works on PROs with lease instrumentals, or should they purchase all the rights first? Yeah, when you get a lease, you're able to still do publishing and everything. And I don't recommend purchasing records outright. Honestly, I don't think I've ever purchased exclusive rights for a beat, and I don't intend to. Like, I lease everything. I don't care if another artist uses the same beat as me. They not going to create. They can't create what I create. So I recommend doing leases, and I recommend for producers, like, keep sending your beats out. Don't be one track. You never know who might make a hit to your shit and what it might sound like.
Why would I want to stop your hustle?
You can still register your songs because it's a completely different song than anyone else is going to make on that beat. And that concludes episode 9 or 10 of Free Game Friday. Let's fucking go. Shout out Consistency, man. We got more on the way. Hey, this is really dope. Actually, we're about to do a live Free Game Friday with Whitney.
We can tell him.
So she pitched an idea on Twitter that was really dope, and she was kind of going into the blueprint and breaking down all the shit that I've done that she's witnessed. And I was like, yo, we got to do this live. So we're actually going to do a live Free Game Friday. We're about to announce that soon. It's going to be here in the pergola. You can come ask questions in real time and get answers. It's going to be a beautiful thing, man. Let's fucking go.
Until next time.
It's crazy when you got to hit the stop button. It's usually someone behind it, but we do this shit ourselves because it's not the fucking same.
Okay, bye, guys.